If you put yourself back into your kindergarten years, one question that your teacher would ask you is, what do you want to be when you grow up? As you sit there thinking about your answer, your friends answer with lawyer, doctor, teacher, princess, maybe even a firefighter. Little did you know that this question would be following you through primary school and secondary school. During that time, you'd find out your strengths and your weaknesses that would help you come to the conclusion of what you want to do post-high school. You figure out that you can either go to university, a technical school, join the armed forces, or omit higher education altogether and go straight for the workforce. While students dream about their life after high school, one major deciding factor for them is how much money they have for their future. All public, private, and community colleges in the United States need to commit to limiting the tuition price difference for students who are attending from other states in comparison to students who live in-state. Today, I will be discussing why students may not decide to go to college in the first place, what the difference is for tuition rates for students at colleges, and why colleges need to commit to cheaper tuition rates. As more and more students are deciding where they want to attend schooling post-high school, besides what degree each college has to offer, the issue of how much university costs plays a central part in their decision. Students are not enrolling in college after high school due to their social status, financial issues, and proximity to schools. While the middle class dominates the United States, a portion of graduates are not wanting to put themselves and their families in financial burden by attending a 2 or 4 year university. While some of the 25% may have decided that their future job won't require them to attend any schooling, there are others that are giving up on their dream jobs because they don't want to be in debt for the majority of their lives. These people could have been future lawyers, doctors, politicians, and educators. Now they are holding down jobs they probably didn't even want in the first place. According to education data, nearly 25% of high school students considered middle class indicated that they are not planning on attending college because of the expense. For families who keep up the tradition of paying for their students' post-secondary education, the bill for keeping them in school can become very expensive to pay out of pocket. Unfortunately, there are lots of misconceptions given out, about financial aid when given out by colleges, banks, and advice given out by advisors. As a result, students and families are missing out on money opportunities. According to education data, nearly $2.3 billion of financial aid went unclaimed in 2017. That's free money that's just sitting there, and it's not being used because families are not being taught how to go about getting that money. And according to Forbes, parents are not eligible for student loan forgiveness programs. Parents are also not eligible for income-based loan repayment plans, which makes the loans a lot less flexible. Add in the fact that parent loans start accruing interest and become due upon disbursement, it can quickly create a lot of financial pressure. This is for parents who decide, I'm going to go ahead and pay for my student. It can become a very taxable thing, very stressful in the home life. If a student in a rural area wants to attend college or university, they have to face the fact that their location is either going to limit their option for where they go to school, or it can even limit how far they are going to go in their schooling. In 2017, 20% of residents in rural areas had attained a bachelor's degree versus 34% in urban areas. A lot of that is based upon they don't want to make the extra drive to school each year and be far away from their families. With these base points for why students are not going to attend college or what hardships they may face when making that decision, let's focus on what colleges are charging their prospective students. Colleges have a separate tuition rate for in-state students and out-of-state students, which causes problems for their prospective students. Due to the fact that all Americans pay taxes, a portion of their money is used to pay for that state's colleges. In return, the universities give back sort of like a thank you to families by lowering the tuition rate for their students who live in-state. However, that's not the same case for someone who's trying to attend from out-of-state. According to Nationwide, schools' reasoning for charging higher out-of-state tuition is because non-resident students come from families who haven't paid taxes to that state. and thus to the school. Out-of-state tuition brings in more revenue to the school, which can be used for a variety of purposes. Within states, each tuition can set the difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition however they want. Some colleges can decide to charge just a couple extra thousands of dollars or upwards to $15,000, depending on what their school has to offer. In Maryland, the lowest difference for tuition rate for in-school state and out-of-school for a public university is at Coppin State University with a difference of $4,791, whereas the highest difference is found at University of Baltimore, Maryland at $19,514. This drastic difference can also be found again in Virginia, with the lowest price difference being at Virginia State University at $8,968 and the highest at University of Virginia at $26,012, according to Israel. These universities can choose not to charge their students as much money, but they do this so that they can pay their educators, make improvements to the campus, and invest in other luxuries. The topic of different tuition rates and rising tuition rates is a vicious dance. To make their college appealing to prospective students, universities have to appeal through them in many ways. But at the same time, they have to raise tuition rates for all so that they can afford to appeal to those new students. Schools continue to compete for students by working to attract top faculty, build and maintain the latest facilities, and offer the next generation of students amenities that can be touted on campus tours for prospective applicants. Among the most selective schools, amenities have become the important part of the race for the best and brightest well-off applicants, according to shown. To combat the lack of applications and the frustration of rising tuition rates, there should be a law put into place that calls for schools to commit to limiting the tuition rate for all kinds of students. With a limited tuition rate, students from all across America might consider going out of state for university instead of staying in state. If a student was trying to earn a business degree, there would be a few colleges in their home state that they could attend for a cheaper rate. However, if there was a better program at a university in a different state, they should be able to apply for that school without fear of breaking their bank account. In the case that a college should not lower their tuition rate for out-of-state students, they need to make scholarships more widely available and well known to them. That way, when deciding on where to go to college, that student knows for a fact that they have a chance to be awarded multiple scholarships to lower their student bill to a manageable size. With so many solid reasons to limit college tuition rates, it would make sense to put a law into place to stop overcharging students. There is no doubt a good reason for having separate tuition rates for students. But look back at the wannabe doctors and teachers in the kindergarten class. They would want to go to a post-secondary school that would best suit their needs. However, the cost to go to that perfect school might deter them from applying and being the best that they can be. That is why colleges and universities need to limit their costs. It's not an evil plot to destroy the foundations of universities, but more of an opportunity for people to have equal opportunity.